Lads and lassies, before we get going with this video, over here I want you to go down to the comment section. Get your fingers ready to start typing because I need a new nickname for this lady. At the moment, she's being referred to as Delta Karen. Now, I think that's a pretty solid name, but when the rest of the information that I've got for you here comes out, I want to hear some new nicknames. So down below, type your best nickname that you got for this lady. Best one gets pinned, and you get my respect forevermore. Enjoy the show. Delta Flight 2790, ground control over. Yeah, we got a Karen on this flight. We need some air support. Roger that, thank you very much.
Everyone, coming right your way, sir.
Okay, I'm seeing a fighter jet off my port wing. Can you guys help me out?
Roger that, sir. We're sending our best weapon.
Karen, sit the fuck down. Good afternoon, lads and lassies, the Irish Demon here, back with another video. Now you might be wondering why I am wearing a helmet. Well, lads and lassies, it's about to get real dangerous in here. You might remember from yesterday's video this lady. Well, I've got a little bit of an update and I must say it was a bit unexpected. Never guess who this Karen actually is in real life. Well, it turns out she has got quite the history. Not only is she the now infamous Delta Karen that punched and spat at an old man for not wearing a mask, turns out she was also a Playboy model. Yes, an actual Playboy model, a cheerleader, and she was in the hit 90s comedy Married with Children. But then there's also a little bit more about her history that might shed some light on what went on that flight. So just in case she bursts into my house, I decided to wear this helmet. Lads and lassies, it's about to get real messy in here. So I was just sitting here thinking, okay, this is, we'll get through it. I'll have to wear the helmet for the whole video. Might be a little bit uncomfortable while I'm editing. But then I realized that I can't actually hear anything. So, gonna have to lose the helmet, I'm afraid. Ah, that's better. Anyway, lads and lassies, let's have a look at this news story about the Playboy model, actress, husband-beating, airplane taken down psycho. Alrighty, lads and lassies, let's have a look at this story here. The woman seen on a viral video slapping a man on a Delta flight over a mask has been identified as former NFL cheerleader, Playboy model, and Baywatch actress Patricia Cornwall, according to reports. It isn't clear from the video what started the argument between Cornwall and the older man sitting in an aisle seat, but at one point, Cornwall is seen slapping the man with a closed fist, I would call that a punch, and drawing back her arm and making a fist as if to punch him before being restrained by others. During the argument, Cornwall yells at the man, "Put his effing mask on. You got your mask down, bitch," the man is heard saying before he says, "Sit down, Karen." Now, according to a federal criminal complaint filed in Georgia, the genesis of the argument is detailed, and the New York Post reports. According to the complaint, the one-time Married with Children actress was annoyed after being blocked in the aisle seat by the flight attendant's service cart. At one point, she was told she can sit in an empty seat until the cart passes, and she can then go to her own seat, but she angrily replied, "What am I, Rosa Parks?" Just gonna stop right there. So, just to break it down. So basically, she's walking down the aisle, the flight crew is going along with the cart with the, refreshments or whatever, and she's angry that she can't get past. Okay, you fucked up. You went to the toilet at the wrong time, you get stuck, you wait for the cart to pass. Anybody who's ever been on a plane has probably either gone through that or seen that happen. It's normal, it's part of flying. So the fact that she got angry over that and then said, "What am I, Rosa Parks?" Really? Really? You're going to compare yourself to Rosa Parks? Ah, jeez. Okay, I like where this is going already. Anyway, let's move on a little bit here. The affidavit claims the older man then got sparked by Cornwall's attitude and told her she isn't black and added this isn't Alabama and this isn't a bus, and the obvious differences between the story of the Great Rosa Parks and this Baywatch lady. Anyway, from there, the man and Cornwall began exchanging angry insults, resulting in the assault. I would just say assaults, because she slapped him. Actually, multiple assaults, because she slapped him, she grabbed him, she kind of tore at him a little bit, she scratched him, and she spat in his face. Hartsfield Jackson Atlanta International Airport is where she was taken to. Sorry, I missed the line. And remanded to the custody of the FBI. So you guys will all have heard this already before. She posted a $20,000 bond after her arraignment. Also, a judge ruled that she may only board another flight if she is flying straight home to Los Angeles. Now, if it was me, it'd be no fly for this lady, because she's just looking for trouble. After having appeared in several TV shows in the 1980s and early 90s under the name Patty Breton, Google it, Cornwall joined the Los Angeles Raiders' Raiderettes cheer team. Later, she worked as a realtor. According to records, her realtor license expired in 2017. Cornwall has made no public statements about the arrest. Public records also reveal, and this is where it gets interesting, more interesting, believe it or not. Public records also reveal that Cornwall was arrested for DUI in Walton County, Florida last year. She also has several arrests for domestic abuse, one in Florida and one in Los Angeles, and both arrests were from last year. So let's break this down a little bit. Does her history as a semi-famous, maybe kind of famous, or slightly well-known person in the 1980s and 1990s go to her actions or explaining her actions on this flight? Well, maybe. The reality of fame, especially for people that were famous, 20, 30 years ago and are now no longer recognizable, it's probably very difficult for people. The funds dry up, you're not recognized anymore, your lifestyle probably changes. So yeah, it probably has a profound effect on somebody's mental health. Maybe she has drug issues, there's this DUI, so it could be alcohol related or drug related. I don't know. But of course, her being famous, her choice of career, her being a Playboy model, all of that stuff doesn't really make a difference, I think, other than the fact that it might have had an effect on her mentally over the years, having lost the little taste of fame that she may have had. Then we just go back briefly to the DUI. Now, what does that tell us, especially in the context of this fight on the airplane? Well, it was very clear to me, as somebody who's dealt with intoxicated people as part of my job for many, many, many years now, that she was clearly either intoxicated or going through a very serious mental issue that she was having on the plane. The way she spoke to the staff, saying, "What am I, Rosa Parks?" Very unusual thing to say, especially given the context of the situation. It's likely that she was probably drunk, maybe high, or maybe on some prescription medications. I wouldn't like to assume without having the facts. Given the fact that she was done for DUI before, it's probably a safe bet to say that she was probably most likely under the influence of something at this stage when she had the fight. That's just a propensity evidence kind of thing there. I don't know whether she was or not. And now when we're on the topic of propensity, let's have a look at her other former arrests. It says here that she had multiple arrests for domestic abuse in Florida and in Los Angeles. Now, what does that tell us? Obviously, as you can see from the video, this lady has no problem interacting with people in a less than kind way, and it seems like she is very quick to anger and very quick to become physical with somebody. She just went from zero to super Karen to mashing on an 80-plus-year-old man over, let's face it, nothing. If somebody calls you a bad word, "Oh no, it hurt my feels, so I'm gonna hurt his face." What? No. You walk away, you act like an adult, or you give it right back, and then you walk away. You don't punch somebody. You could say anything you want to me, I'm not gonna punch you for it. That's silliness. So on the balance of everything, I'm gonna give my preliminary findings as judge and jury in this case. Obviously not, but I'm just gonna give my views as some guy on the internet. Seems to me it's pretty obvious that this lady most likely has some mental health issues, possibly some long-standing mental health issues. When you're famous and then you're not famous, it's easy to, you've all seen, Macaulay Culkin, all that kind of stuff. Everybody, you know what I'm talking about. Somebody was famous ages ago. Nobody knows who they are now. That's got to be difficult. There's the history with the DUI, the fact that she appeared to be intoxicated under the influence of something on that plane, her 2 prior arrests for domestic abuse, God only knows how many other incidences there have been in the past, and the fact that she became verbally and then extremely physically abusive, going so far as to spit in a man's face, which to me again is the worst thing that you can do to anybody. All that tied together shows me that this lady is obviously extremely unstable, and that there was most likely drink and or drugs involved in this particular incident. All I can say is that for the man that was assaulted by this lady, I hope he gets justice. This is an octogenarian over here getting punched and spat at by this lady, but I gotta say, for an old bloke, he was well able for her, man. He was not afraid and he was not backing down. As for the lady involved, I hope you get yourself sorted out. It's not nice to see anybody get into trouble or into shitty situations, you know, especially when the person clearly has mental health problems or maybe substance abuse issues. People aren't really themselves in those scenarios, so I hope for her sake and for the sake of everybody around her that she does get some help and gets herself sorted out. The fact of the matter is, when you end up on the internet in a viral manner such as this, people like me and others are going to probably pick a little bit of fun at you. Maybe some others might not give you the human view on it, but that's kind of how I like to go with it. I will laugh at the situation, but it's all in jest, and I just want everybody to kind of think for a minute that, you know, this is a human being who's obviously going through something. Not for 1 minute am I defending her actions. I don't care how bad you are. You spit in somebody's face, you deserve to get sent down for it. Anyway, lads and lassies, this was a short and sweet one. I really hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure and smash that like button. Comment down below. I'd really love to hear what you have to say about this, because it's a fascinating situation. Let me know what you think. Make sure and smash that like button. Become a member. Go on my Patreon. All that good stuff. Really appreciate it. Thank you so much. And sláinte.